All right, YouTube, we're here with the T-6 Texan, which is a 1.5 meter, part of the 1.2 meter series from Horizon Hobby. It's an E-flite product, but it's got park zone servos. This is very confusing to me. Anyway, it's got Safe Select, and we've got that activated, but we'll go ahead and fly it in normal AS3X, and we'll kick that on for a couple of passes. As you can see from the flags, we got a little bit of wind, but it's honestly as good as we've gotten for about a week. So we're gonna give it a shot. I think it'll do just fine. And let's show you how we're doing the battery today. Since it's a maiden flight, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this at, they recommend a 2200 to 3300 3S, but the ESC is rated for up to a 4S. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and, I wonder if that would stick in there like that. Nope. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you, I've got this pushed all the way into the firewall. 3000 milliamp 3S Turnigy heavy duty Hobby King variety. Of course, I've got my XT60 here. You do have to let this thing initiate with safe. Even if you're not using the safe, I believe you still have to let it happen. There's a couple little pockets where I like to try to tuck this so it helps to give a little pressure to keep the battery in position, but I'm not real crazy about putting pressure on there. So we'll see how this goes. We're gonna do one quick test on the control surfaces. Aileron roll left, roll right, elevator up, down, rudder left, rudder right. And all the settings are what the manual recommends, except I didn't measure them out. I just, I don't need those. The sun's going behind the clouds. Flaps, flaps. I don't know if you guys could tell from that, but my split flaps like to get stuck. So, takeoff setting, throttle cuts off, 4-minute timer. Here we go, guys. Woo! That thing is powerful. Holy crappers. That is nuts. That's full throttle. It's need a little bit of nose trim down. Whoops. I did not mix any rudder with my ailerons. I probably should do that, 25% or so. Okay, going into the wind here. I've got it at about 10% throttle. Guys, this thing has like crazy power. Look at that. I'm amazed at it. I'm still got a little elevator issue going. Okay, full flaps, landing gear. I want to get some bigger trim taken care of. About 30% power here. Man, it slows down a lot. Man, that was easy to land. The landing gear is short on this plane, so you want to keep those wings from tipping into the ground. Okay, out of the flaps. I think that this one's probably going to need a little bit of a mechanical trim on the elevator. But what I'm doing now is, now that I've had a chance to fly it, why don't you shoot over here? Differential and or dual rates in Expo. Okay, I'm in the middle setting, and I know that my elevator is way too touchy. So I'm going to kick that up to, let's do 35. And then on the high setting, I'll do 60. And on the low setting, I'll do 20. Okay. And then I'll be able to trim it a little bit more. I'm going to get it to, let's try that. That should be about right. I'm going to taxi around, take off into the wind again with takeoff flaps. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. Gorgeous takeoff. About 60% power there. Gear up. Needs a little bit more aileron. The elevator's way more controlled now. I'm gonna just show you. Okay, so here's up and then down. See how it's not so jankety? I like it. Looks cool. pretty windy up there. Oh, let's do some safe. We'll do a safe pass. Whoops, that's gear. Okay, so we're in safe now. That's safe. Just flying along, just cruising. It's going to limit your bank angles, which is good for people learning. See, limited bank angles. Okay, now we're going to come out of safe. We'll do a high-speed pass here probably, hon. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Full landing flaps to see how she slows down. Not as aggressively as like the P-51 or the P-47 in terms of slowing down. I actually, believe it or not, still need a little bit of down trim on the elevator. Looks good. It's very fast. Surprisingly fast, actually. That's my warning for 4 minutes. That's 0 throttle, by the way. I want to go around. We'll probably just, for the simple fact that it's a brand new plane, I want to crash it. We'll go ahead and take a landing here. Okay, takeoff flaps, gear coming down. Full landing flaps, about 40% throttle. Out of the throttle, about 10%, just to tractor the prop there. Woo! I'm gonna go around because I did not want to hit the massive pothole there. Actually need a little more Expo on the rudder as well, hon. And a little less on the ailerons. Go ahead and switch those around. Takeoff flaps, landing flaps. Out of the throttle altogether, kind of pushing the nose down just a bit. Woo! Woohoo! Got a nasty bump with the wind there. Going around. We'll try this again. Takeoff flaps, gear coming down, landing flaps. A lot of spring in those wheels, surprisingly. I'll probably draw this out a little bit longer and just not worry about it. Beautiful. She doesn't want to tip over, not like the Spitfire. The wheels are short enough that it doesn't tip over like it would on the Spitfire, but they still seem pretty narrow. Sure looks good. Good ground handling, very easy to ground handle. Okay, so we're going to switch out batteries. Let's look at the Expo for a sec, hon. All right, so trade me sides and we'll do it over here. You might have noticed I painted the tips white. Okay, so we're going to go into dual rates in Expo for aileron. Shoot, I put it in the lowest setting. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down to 10. I'm going to turn this one down to 5. And then I'm going to turn the high setting down to 20. So we'll fly in that setting. And I'm just realizing that I never actually flipped my Expo to the middle setting. I was in the low setting. So I'm going to have to retest the other two, but we're going to do battery and we'll come right back.
Okay. You're going.
Oh. Sorry. Why don't you come over here and film this? So the battery voltage is going to be right now 3.83, 3.84, 3.88. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape. Hypothetically, you could go for a little bit longer on that, but it's kind of nice to let the pack not get destroyed. So we're going to switch and come right back. All right, so we're back with another 4-minute timer. We could have easily gone a little bit longer, but 4 is a safe starting point. I adjusted my flaps. Let's show you how I adjusted my elevator correction for flap system. I went from 4 to 6 and from 6 to 10. Okay. And then I'm also going to go in here to mixing, and I'm going to turn on just a little bit of aileron to rudder mix. I'm going to go to inhibit and turn it to on. And I'm just going to set it to like 25. And then I'm just going to go back here and look at it. And just make sure that when I move my stick this way, that the rudder goes that way. So that's going to be, it's going to help it look like a coordinated turn instead of these weird, like wonky slip turns. So we'll see how that goes. Just these little adjustments are what make the difference when you have a warbird. Sometimes they fly a little hokey. This thing flies really good. It's just strangely powerful. Okay, flaps are deployed, takeoff flaps, and we're going. Oh, gorgeous. Gear up. Gosh, I don't even need that much power. I don't know why I'm getting on it so hard. Okay, let's see the roll. Oh, way better. Looks a lot more warbirdish. My elevator is so much better now. I can still get it to do what I want, but it's not like touchy. This plane is wonky when you come out of your, like when you, I'll have to show you what I'm talking about here. It might just be, and it's so weird, I'm getting a climb when I give throttle. That's not cool. I don't know if any of you guys are seeing the same thing. You see that? That's a little wonky, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's a Texan thing. The rudder is very capable. A lot of rudder up there. Let's see if we can get a slow pass here. Got takeoff flaps, about 25% power. Fast, surprisingly fast. Of course, with wind, you fly a little faster just to keep up with controls. Okay, here we go. We're coming down. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's just one more trim issue going on. I don't know if I'm getting a little bit of rudder trim that needs to be made, or if that's just wind. I do like the coordination in that rudder, makes a big difference. It looks a lot more real. Okay, full landing flaps coming down. I'm gonna try for a low speed pass here. Looks beautiful. But the wind keeps kicking up every time I do that. Beautiful. Out of the flaps, full throttle, going vertical. And a little wonky stall turn sort of thing. It's almost like I need a contrary rudder mix at times. It's weird. Okay, full landing flaps. Let's see how fast we can get her to slow down a little bit here. Beautiful, beautiful. I did notice that the motor was warmed up pretty good on my first flight. That's the downwind pass, obviously, guys, if you weren't paying attention to where the flag was going earlier. Okay, takeoff flaps this time. We'll go for a gear presentation here. Here comes the gear. Oh, it's so pretty. Out of the flaps, out of the gear. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that tail is just kicking all over the place. AS3X and safe, you know. Okay, here we go. That's my timer. Here comes the gear. We'll probably do a go around on this. I like the flaps. You can definitely see them, which is cool. For being a split flap, it's neat that you can see them good. They're usually pretty hard to see. They're effective, but not as effective as the other 1.2 meter flaps. Of course, they're quite a bit smaller too. Okay, we're coming in about 40% throttle. having to carry just a little bit, oh dang it, having to carry just a little bit extra speed today with this, with the wind. I want to see how much damage we got from scraping there. My guess is probably not much. Okay, throttle cuts on and tested. All right, here we go. Did we get any damage? Yep. That's annoying. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it's not worse, actually. Feels like everything is still solid. It's good to know that it can handle a little scrape here and there. This wing is a little bit bigger than the rest of the wings, obviously on the 1.2 meter line, because this is a 1.5 meter. But it's also it's got a long cord, so it just flies. It flies a lot different the other ones. I was not expecting that. I'm not sure why I wasn't expecting that, but it just flies different. It's not hard. The safe is not great. I think the safe was a little wonky, but it is windy today. So maybe on a calm day we'll revisit the safe and let you guys know if that's good. But as you know, if you know anything about the safe planes, some of them the safe works great, and sometimes the safe doesn't work so great. And here again, it's not dead calm, and I think a dead calm day would be a better time to kind of make that determination. But for now, great plane, really like it. Definitely easier to fly than the Spitfire. Is it better looking than a Spitfire? No, but that's a preference thing. So I really like it. I'll put lights on it. It's going to be a good plane. It's a keeper for sure. Go get yourself one. Check the description below. We got a link to it. And get your very own. If you don't know how to fly, maybe don't start with this one. Start with the P-47. The P-47 is great too. But it's maybe a little bit more forgiving than this one. So, which is not what I was expecting to say. But I really like the plane still. And the P-51 is beautiful, but still probably my favorite's got to be the T-28. And the T-28 doesn't have safe select, or I would recommend that for new flyers. So, because tricycle landing gears is so much fun. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of this and for your patience with this. This Maiden took forever to get to. But that's just spring everywhere, I guess. No matter where you are on the planet, spring seems to be just tantalizing for us RC pilots. It's feast or famine, and here we've had famine the last week. We're probably going to get famine the rest of the week, too. So glad we got to show you this today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.